All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Stock Analysis Friday. It is 2025, so Happy New Year to everybody, and today is January 10th. So great to have everybody here. All right, I'm going to go through a few administrational items, and then we'll jump into the charts. In the meantime, there is a comments window, I guess, to speak, on the channel here. And you can type in your stocks you want me to look at, because the purpose of Stock Analysis Friday, of course, is for me to look up stocks you're interested in. Now, also, too, make sure if you lose audio or if you cannot hear me, let me know right away in the chat area, because at times I'm like the last one to know if we have a tech problem, because I'm focusing on the charts and everything. All right, the other thing, too, really quickly, put in 3 stocks or 3 ETFs, I don't care, whatever you want in there at a time. Don't put more than 3, because it keeps the flow going good. And also let me know if you're long, short, or thinking about whatever you're typing in there, because that way I can tailor the analysis more specifically to what you need. All right, so let me jump in and go through this administrational items. I have to talk about the risks involved in trading. Like I always say, without that risk, there is no opportunity. So the two really do go hand in hand. But we need you to be aware of the risks and always trade with risk capital. That's money you can afford to put into the markets. Anything we talk about today, if we come up with a stock or anything of that nature, talk to your financial advisor or whoever manages your money to be sure that recommendation is suitable for you. I don't know your personal situation. They certainly should. Also realize that other people will could be listening to this and taking to the trade as well. So keep that in mind as you trade the markets here. Also, too, let's see, what else can I tell you about that? Past performance doesn't guarantee future performance. We deal in a realm of probabilities. So nothing's guaranteed in the market. And please know how to do risk control. Know what your risk is when you take an individual trade or investment. Of course, that's always necessary. All right, if you're into day trading, I always put this up. I use Apex funding. I put a link up there for you guys if you're interested in doing it, because that link will give you a discount. I am an affiliate of Apex, of course. But I do trade. There are funded accounts as well as do the evaluations. So it's a great way to get involved in the markets, and you're trading other people's money. So, you're not trading, you don't have your own money on the line. So actually, you could actually do this even if you're short on funds. There is a subscription fee, but it's nominal. Okay, so you may want to consider that, and you do get data. So, and also too, the markets, it's for the futures markets. This is not for position trading. This is for really just day trading, or what I call evening trading, because the markets are open at night too. You have the Asian markets and the London markets at night. So even if you have a job, we have a lot of traders that come home and they trade for a couple hours at night on a very short time frame. And you can do very well, all right, once you know what you're doing. And the nice thing about it is they give you a practice account until you get funded that you have to pass. So you have to prove to them and you that you're ready to go live. So it's a great way to learn and also improve. So you may want to check that out. And I put my link up there too. All right, so let's move on from here. And books. Okay, my new book, The Art of Trading, on the far right, is now out. In fact, I'm going to turn on my cam for just a minute, and I will show you the book here. All right, so there's the book. It's a thick one, 608 pages. So I put a lot of material in this since my first book came out in 2008. We also have a lot of new software. So definitely you can pre-order that on Amazon. I'll put a link in the recording for you, but that is now out and shipping. So we're pretty excited about that. All right, I got books on risk control. We got the money management books. I got Elliott Wave techniques. And then we have a whole bunch of online home study courses at our website on traderscoach.com. So you can check that out. All right, one more commercial slide, and that's the ultimate trading system. And this includes the ART, OWL, PTF, TLM indicators that we use for scalping and also trend trading the markets. And it doesn't matter what time frame. We use this on the 1 minute, and we use this on weekly charts and daily charts. Today, we're going to be focusing more on position sizing and position trading rather. And then we have calculators at the bottom for position sizing. So I was getting to that. And then scanners as well. And at the end of the webinar, after we're finished, I usually turn it on, for example, to the day trading NASDAQ timeframes before we close, so you can check those out. So if that's interested, try to stay to the end. And then my final slide is like, subscribe, and share. All right, so let me come out of here. I'll dump that. Now, while I'm waiting for stocks to come in, I'm going to cover a few that I like or looking at, of course, with some suggestions on them. Now, remember, nothing's guaranteed. I'm just like you. I look at patterns in the market. I form probabilities based on those patterns. And then we see, we do risk control. And then we see if we're right. Okay, that's nobody has a crystal ball in trading that you know exactly what price is going to do. Instead, we kind of just like follow the market like a tail on a dog, so to speak. All right. All right, so I'm going to start out with Bitcoin here. It's been pulling back. I've been getting a lot of questions on Bitcoin. And here's what's interesting about this. You can see that one of our indicators, if you're into Elliott wave, is showing a wave 3. So this is a wave 3 top on the daily time frame. So this, another thing with this that you may be interested in is, notice I have 3 charts up here. This is called multiple time frame analysis. So this is the 60-minute chart, which is our short-term look. This is our daily chart, which is intermediate. And this is our weekly chart, which is long-term. But notice the symbol is the same, okay, on all 3 charts. And it allows us to get a good comprehensive view of the market we're looking at. All right, so I'm going to put a link up if you're interested in learning more about multiple time frame analysis. We have a really good course I put together on that, and you can check it out. All right, so back to the market. So we got a wave 3 here. All right, I think we're going into or are in already a wave 4. Now, I was wondering if the wave 4 was going to be shallow and end here where I just drew this line in. But I have to be honest with you, it's looking pretty bearish. This was a big turnaround set of price bars. They're called candlesticks. So that really shows a change in behavior there. We did not hit the high probability wave 4 target zone sitting down here. So this is 4. This is 3 for you Elliott wave guys. This could turn out to be an ABC pattern and get back into wave 4. And then we should have the next bullish trend up, wave 5. So let's just say it this way. Long term, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. Short term, we got to be careful here. But I can tell you, if it gets down into this wave 4 target zone, this is, I think, a buying opportunity. Now, with that said, all right, there's no guarantees. But with that said, that might be a good area to go into Bitcoin, especially if you're not in it and you want to get involved in it. So keep that in mind, all right? So if you buy there, then hopefully you'll get that next big move up, and we should take highs out there, and that would be a wave 5. So one more thing I want to take a look at now is I want to go over to this chart over here, the weekly chart. And with Elliott wave, you got to think of Elliott wave as there's waves inside waves. It's kind of like a snowflake. You know, you have a snowflake and you put it under the microscope and you can see the crystals in it that make up more snowflakes. Same thing with Elliott wave. And so this configuration here, remember, wave 5 will be the end of the trend on an Elliott wave on the daily. But now let's open up the weekly chart and see how that works in that. And in the weekly chart, we're in a wave 3 here, okay? And here's the little minor wave 3 here on the daily. That's not the same as this. And here is a wave 4, and then a wave 5 should get up into this target area here, which will be the end of this wave 3. Now, how confusing is that for you? All right, so that is a major top sitting up around 134,000 to 169. So that's where I think the Bitcoin is going, sometimes probably in 2025, depends when this correction ends. And if it takes a long time to get down here, it could be towards the end of 2025, 2026. But that is kind of where it's going. Now, when it gets up here, unless you're going to give your Bitcoin to your kids or something, I would sell it. Okay, so that's my recommendation. And you can certainly decide what you want to do on that. But that's kind of the overall game plan. So I'm looking for maybe one more significant high in 2025, and then we'll see how it goes. Now, if by chance this is all wrong and we go below this area here, then that's not a good sign. We also have two fair value gaps here. And they're interesting because they're sitting right smack in the Fibonacci retracement area. So that's also another good place. And those are bullish ones. So that's not another good place to consider adding on. And those act like magnets. So it's a very strong probability you'll get there. All right. So that's my 2 cents on Bitcoin. And good morning. Yes, good morning, Jim, to you. We got the day trading room right after this. It's been also so far a great morning trading the NASDAQ. Also to Lowell, good morning to you. And Jim, your book is arriving today. Ooh, okay. Well, it's a big boy, so you might be spending most of the weekend on that one. But thank you for getting that. All right, so let's see what we got out there. All right, Ray, looking to go long on PLTR, MSTR, and Tesla. Okay, let's take a look at those one by one. So PLTR, let's take a look at that one first. All right, these little lines here just represent liquidity levels in the market. All right, and I just like to know where those are, because if I'm seeing a pullback, chances are the institutions are going to go down to those levels. All right, they're like fair value gaps. They kind of act like a magnet. All right, so when we look at this situation here, we've got this is a beautiful wave 3 right here on PLTR, right? We don't quite have a red owl yet. So technically, we need a red owl to basically say we're in wave 4. That's a confirmation. Let's just see where the wave 4 target could be on this. So I'm going to draw some fibs in here. And our target, and let me just explain this for a second. So 70% of retracements, which are wave 4s, they represent profit taking in the market. Okay, so that is this level here. And that's between $57.38 down to $41.39. So that is the wave 4 target. And this is always a good buying area. Okay, now we're currently at 65. So we're getting close. We're also in the zone between the red line here and here. So 15% of the time on this one, Ray, 15% of the time, wave 4s are shallow, don't reach the 70% area, and instead rebound and take off from here. So we have to be aware of that. 15% of the time, they get a lot deeper, all right, and go possibly could go into a wave, almost to the wave 1 top, but cannot exceed the wave 1 top. So if you are trading a wave 4 and you go below wave 1, it's not a wave 4 anymore. It's probably wave 2 or a bigger change in trend. All right, so keep that in mind. So this is the ideal place to look for a buy-in. Okay, $57.41. Now, with that said, here's what sometimes I do. If I see this turn around, and it has not turned around yet, but if I see this turn around, all right, we had a little, let me just open this up a little bit so I can show you this. We had a little bit of a B, C. So is there a possibility that's all we're going to get? It could be, especially if this never goes red and wave 3 continues, then we're not in wave 4 at all, major wave 4. We're in a minor wave 4 inside the wave 3. Confusing, huh? All right, so sometimes what I do when I see this is if I want to commit a position, I may commit either a half or a third when I see it turning around after I have some form of an ABC and I see bullishness coming in. So far on this time frame over here, there's no bullishness. That's red, that's red. So don't go in yet. But I'm just saying, if it doesn't quite reach the target here, you can take a partial position. And then if we're wrong and it continues on down, you add the other half or 2/3 or whatever. Okay, ideally we want it to add the full position in here, but the market's not always perfect, and so I kind of segregate entries sometimes based on what I see happening in the market. I would not go into this yet. Okay, it's still coming down. Let's take a look at it next week. Okay, all right. So put a hold on that. Let's take a look at MSTR. All right, and again, same type of thing. Let me just put a little more, a little more history on that. A little bit gap down there. So let's start anew here. I don't know why we have that gap. I don't really. Okay, I see it on the weekly. Okay, so we got a major wave 3 with a freaking long. Look at this long wick up here. Look at that. All right, that screams bearish, right? The bears did not allow that to stay at the top. So likewise, we're getting to move down. All right, but this is a fairly strong trend. This is a wave 3 of some. We're nowhere near a red owl. So we're probably seeing a pullback, minor pullback, some that may be considered major because it got up to 550 and 327. So I kind of major pullback, right? Doesn't look like it on the chart, but it is. All right, so that's a pullback. A lot of profit taking, but it's also not a bad area to look for a buy. Okay, we have some bullishness coming in. See this move to the upside? We're starting to break structure on the 60-minute chart with the green PTF. So we have some bullish coming in. We don't see it here yet. So this may be a great opportunity to put a bull flag on this move here. So let's take a look at that. All right, so give me a second and let me grab my flags. All right, that would be, there it is. Okay, so we run that here like that, and there is a bull flag. So you could wait until prices jump out of that bull flag before going long. And that's a really nice pattern, all right, to focus on. Now, with that said, let's just see for fun on the daily chart, because we have a red PTF. Let's see where prices are. And looky that. They're right in the wave 4 situation. So I'm thinking here, when we break that bull flag, just in case it goes lower, you can go long on that one. So this one is closer than the other one, I think. Okay. And we have a green PTF on all 3 time frames. So this should break 550. So you want to be pretty, you don't want to miss this one. Okay. So I'm liking that. If you wanted to go in with half now and jump the gun a little bit, you're in the target. So you've got that going for you. You've got bullishness here going for you. You technically are still in a downtrend. I mean, if you draw the trend line there on top of the bull flag, but you know, I get it. If you want to not miss it, you could go in with a third or a half now. But you know what? I would just wait for the break of the bull flag, because sometimes these things get range bound, and then your money's tied up for a while until it breaks. But I'm going to leave that up to you. Okay. So this one I like. All right, for another leg up. All right, let's go on to your next one, Tesla. Oh boy, Tesla's an interesting one. All right, so let's bring that one up. Same thing on Tesla. We're seeing a pullback. We're very close to going red here on the owl, and we have a situation here where we have a red owl and a red PTF on the 60. So this is still heading down. This is a wave 3. We have a major wave 3 on the weekly chart. So we should break this high of around 500 on the next swing up. So now you just got to wait for the next swing up. So what I would do, again, very similar to the other ones we looked at, this would be a buy zone in here. Okay. We're in the 15% area here. So remember what I said about the 15% area. And then you have the 70% area here. So this is a very similar thing to the first one we looked at, PLTR, right? So you could put, you know, Tesla and PLTR on the watch list as well. These will probably take a little bit longer than MSTR. Okay, so I kind of would look at it that way. Okay, so I would hold off on this for right now and be patient. You know, some part of trading, whether you're day trading or position trading, is patience. Okay, and knowing your style of trading. There's scalpers and then there's swing traders. This would be a form of more of a longer term trend trading situation. Okay, so you know the swing is down, but we're getting closer and closer to the target. So just be patient. Okay, that's the way I would play that. Thank you. And as Gene says, yeah, beautiful wave 3, easily seen on all those. Okay. All right. Gene is in the room. Okay. Good morning for everybody. I'm just going through the chats here. All right. Okay. The book. All right. And type in all caps. Ray, my pleasure. All right. I'm going to share one with you. But again, you got to promise me you're going to run this by your financial advisor. But I'm going to share an ETF and let that load a second. And this is UNG. Now, this is the natural gas ETF. And I had talk about patience. I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for an opportunity to go long on this because I'm going to open up this weekly chart and look at that. Okay. This has been in a multi-year, almost like a multi-decade actually, move down, okay? And it showed signs of bottoming. Now, we still have a red PTF owl here, rather, but look at the bullish divergence, okay? Very close to going green, which means, just simply means we see that near a bottom. It doesn't mean a reason for taking a trade alone, okay? But we like to see that if we're getting into a trade at a bottom. We like to see that bullish divergence. We've had a good year of going sideways with smaller little bottoms here, but nothing exaggerated. And we're seeing some possible area of support here, okay? So in terms of a trader, we don't go in certainties, we go in probabilities. This is looking like a bottoming pattern. Now, if you go in long here, could you get stuck in a year? Of course, all right? That's the risk involved in trading, right? But let's look at the lower time frames because they're definitely encouraging, all right? So we've had a move off this bottom channel that I had drawn, and now we made it wider there. There it is. We've got a green PTF on both the daily and the 60-minute chart. I'm liking this, okay? So I'm going to recommend this, but you got to promise me you'll run that by your financial advisor to make sure it's suitable for you. There's no guarantees on these, but I kind of like getting in as early as possible after I see a bottoming situation like here and then a breakout of the channel here, okay? It makes sense, but the markets don't always make sense, but this does. So I'm kind of liking it. So I'm going to recommend this one and give this one to you. You can decide what you want to do with it. But anyway, we've been watching that for a while. So you've been kind of basically listening to me on that. But again, run that by your financial advisor. All right. Anything else? What else do we got? Let's take a quick look at USO. And I'll take a quick look at silver today. So USO, we put a couple of pennants on both the daily and the weekly time frames on this. And as you can see, again, we were patient. All right, we got a boost out. All right, we got a boost out. We took out this high. So we've been long, recommended a long on this, okay, and kind of had to sit with it for a while. But now it looks like it's perking up. We think we have a bottom down in this range here. That's right in the 50s area. So let me just open up the daily chart. I'll show you where that is on the daily. So that would be, give me a second, that would be this low right here, okay? So we thought we had a bottom there and then went look at that, almost 2 years sideways. And I think we should now get a move up on oil to around 99 to 125, okay? And that's using technical analysis. No guarantees, no nothing, but that's kind of where I think we're headed on oil. All right. The other one I want to take a look at, Tesla is not really a winner yet. Tesla goes on the watch list. All right. Tesla is on the watch list. But and MSPR, Gene, is on the watch list too. All right. Let's see. For Ray, he wants to take a look at some more here, which is great. All right. SHOP, SHOP. Boy, everybody's quiet today. All right. So let's take a look and see what's going on. I'm going to open up the weekly. We don't have a lot of history. So the less history we get, the little more dicey it is. But we had a nice trend here, nice trend down, bottoming here, and then a move up here. Green PTF indicates that we could go higher. If there's any profit taking that comes in here, Ray, we've got to be prepared for this possibly to go down to that fib retracement on the weekly. I'm not saying it's doing that, but it possibly could. And we've had a nice run up. Kind of on this one here, at this particular point, let's wait for the pullback. Okay, I'm not comfortable going in here because I think we could even fill this gap that we had up here. So I kind of would hold off on that. We can look at that one next week. I'm not going to put that one on the watch list because I don't think I would do that. Okay, NVIDIA. All right, so this is kind of interesting. Notice, let's just take a look at the NVIDIA here. Notice here on NVIDIA, we had the classic wave 3, all right, wave 3, A, B, C into the target for wave 4. So this was your first sign that get ready to go long. We have pyramids forming here. The first one that formed actually was here. Now we're in the target. We got bearish divergence building on the weekly. We got bearish divergence here. So this is a wave 5. So in this scenario here, let's take a look at where we think this will end. And for that, let me just get rid of these and put in the extensions. Must be getting blind or something. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so here, here, here. So the top on this, I would say, is around 172 to 223. So you got a little bit more room, but you've cleared the top of wave 3. So here, this is just me personally. All right, when we've cleared a wave 3 top, I usually say it's too late to get in. Because sometimes, you've already hit the 15% area here, which means that's the distance between the wave 3 top and the high probability fib area. So you've got that, if it's a shallow 5, it could sell off from here. But yeah, it probably will get up in here. It could even go higher and you could be sitting at $200 saying, why did I listen to Ben, right? Went up 70 points. But again, I'm kind of looking more for confluence on a lot of things to separate B trades from A plus trades. Let's open up this here. All right. Beautiful wave 3 here with bearish divergence. So I'm thinking this wave 3 will end when wave 5 ends on the daily. So I think, if you take a look at this too, like I always say, is it better to get in here or here? Here, right? Okay, it's risky to get in here because you're just going for a pop, but the downside could be equally as bad. I'd rather go in when I got the odds in my favor that the downside could be dwarfed by the upside or whatever direction I'm taking the trade. So I don't think I would do that one either. Wait for the pullback, okay? All right, we'll do a couple more here, and then then I got to hit the day trading here. All right, so let's see what we got here. AD, all right, BE. Let's take a look at Adobe. Okay, so holding at a loss. Okay, and I can see why, because it's been heading down, right? All right, so let's take a look and see what's cooking here. All right, so sometimes wave 4s are so powerful they have a wave 3 inside the C wave. The C wave appears at wave 3. So I'm not kind of worried about that. This is a 3, fairly deep 4, okay? You're having a profit-taking pullback inside wave 5. All right, so that's kind of it. Sometimes you get a failed wave 5. Let's hope it's not that. I don't think it is, because we really haven't had enough of a move back up yet. And we certainly didn't have on this move up. I don't think we had any divergence between here and here. So I think you should, since you've held it already through the downward area, this bottom should hold, okay? I don't know if that's any help to you, but that should hold. But I think, and we probably will end somewhere in here because this is an area, order block area there. So I'm thinking probably you want to hold that at this time. And Adobe's a fairly large company, so you're in terms of well known. So I think you're okay. There are some liquidity levels that they may head for here to grab the liquidity before bringing it back up. So we could go back down a little bit further. I don't know where you got in exactly, but I guess I would hold it. All right, but you're going to be sitting at losses for a little longer. And if that bothers you, then get out, wait until it turns around. That's the other thing. Sometimes instead of waiting, it's just better to get out, but get back in because it will turn around. It should turn around. Okay. All right. So that's my take on that. Don't buy it. Don't buy any more yet. You may even want to add on to your position if we see a turnaround, but I wouldn't do it yet. Okay. I don't like to add on to losses. All right. So VC, let's see what we got here. All right. Holding at, in VC, you're holding at a loss. Yeah. So here's all the pullbacks. Okay. Let's open up the weekly. Let's just see if this is the same thing as the other one. All right. So not as clear as the other one. Look at the volatility. Okay. So the good part about this is we may have a bottom here. Okay. I don't like the fact that this was so powerful here, but I think maybe that was a 3, 4, 5 in the sequence. And then A, B, C, it may be heading down one more time if this is an A wave, B wave, C wave. Okay, so this is, I would not like to be long here, okay? However, you've been long, and the question is that this could be a bottom. So if you're willing to hold it down and see if that bottom holds, you certainly could do that, okay? I'll be surprised if that bottom doesn't hold, but I've been surprised before. All right, so we've got some liquidity fairly close by. Maybe that's what they're shooting for, and they'll bring this one up here. This liquidity level here is significant, all right? So that they may run, and that's only a point away. I guess I would hold it. We'll take a look at it next week. Hopefully, I'm thinking you'll get a turnaround if it breaks this liquidity. Okay, and we've got a red PTF, so they're still heading down for that. Okay, all right, and MET, you have, I think, is that long-term gain? Okay, good. All right, so you got bearish divergence building on new highs here on the weekly chart, right? Okay, you've got a slight pullback here that's not over according to the 60-minute chart. This is why I like multiple time frame analysis, because it lets me know what the different swings are doing inside the longer term trend, that type of thing. All right. So in a case like this, I think we got some more lows coming, and I'm thinking here, I'm going to open up the weekly chart just to get a better view of what the heck's going on. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, we're reaching that on bearish divergence. Okay. I think what I would do here is personally, if it was me, you can talk to your financial advisor. I don't know what your gain is. I don't know if this is a long-term hold or more of a swing trade. If it was a swing trade, I'd get out. Okay. If it's a long-term thing, then this is what happens long-term. You have to suffer the pullbacks before the recovery. Okay. And the main thing is you just don't want to be long-term on crappy stocks because they can be really volatile and never recover. Okay. So more prominent stocks are better to do that with, obviously. So in a case like this, that's what I would do. I would probably dump it. Okay. If I'm sitting on a gain. All right. So we've come past the half an hour and I'm going to, boy, I see a lot more picks coming in. Wish you guys put those in earlier. Let's see. All right, so let me go through some of these really quick. All right, IRBT. I'm not gonna go too into these. I'll just tell you what I think that you should be. Long looking at. Okay, this is actually setting up to be a pretty decent trade. We've got some liquidity here. We've kind of got green in here. So if you were to go in long here, you've broken this structure here. You haven't broken these yet. So, you know, you got to break those before we can be in a trend. We're in a little bit of a pullback here. Let's see how far this pullback goes. But I'm going to tell you something. If you're in this already, don't panic because I think it looks like a good trade. You're getting in near a bottom. So put your stop at the bottom. If you're not in this yet, let's put this on the watch list. Please bring this back next week. What I want to see is we're coming down. We've got green here. We've already come down halfway. This should reverse and make a higher high. And I got to tell you, I actually am going to recommend this one. Okay. I'm going to change my mind because of the green PTF on the 60-minute showing that we should take this high out. This has a 75% accuracy rate. So I kind of pay attention to that. So if this was not green here, I'd say wait. But I think we've already retraced 50%. We may go down a little further, but I think for a long-term trade, that's not a bad deal because I think you know, your profit target on this could be $60. Okay, because if you did a fib retracement here to here, you're looking right. That's saying 80. I'm saying more like 60. Okay, so. I'm liking it. I'll put that on the buy list, okay? If you want to wait until this trend down subsides, you can certainly do that, okay? That's kind of where I'd be at that. All right, let's take a look at PBW. All right, so PBW is at a bottom as well. I like the fact, Lowell, that you're looking at stocks for the beginning of a new trend rather than trying to get in late on one. I do like that. All right, this one this one's not looking too bad either. I don't see any red PTFs. That's the first thing I look at. I like the other one, I think, a little better because it has the green PTF on that. This, however, has a green PTF with an entry on a green owl here on the weekly. So if you're looking to hold this for a while, like a year, I think you're probably pretty good. I think your profit on this, and I'm going to be a little conservative on how I draw these in. So your profit on that is 47, roughly to 67. So that's a double your money. All right. It's pulling back here a little bit. But you have a green PTF. All right. I'll put this one down too. Okay. As one that I like. All right. If you want to wait for the 60-minute to turn around and turn bullish, nothing wrong with that. We have a stop under this pyramid here. I would not put it there. I'd put it at the very low down here. So I put your stop below at 19, maybe 1875, something like that. All right. CDNS. CDNS. And let's see what's going on with that one. I think we may get another high on this, but I think maybe 320 let's see where the PTF, 325. So another, what is that, 10% or something on this, maybe 15%. You're getting in close. You got to be really careful about this one because you're getting in near a high on this. So I think I like the others better. Okay. All right. If you were a swing trader off the 60-minute, maybe, but even that's not ready yet either. All right, Jim, how are you? Let me do one for you here. UVIX to the long side. UVIX. All right. Oh, this looks pretty interesting. Okay, so not a lot of history, but green PTFs across the board. All right, we're just coming off a bottom. We have green here, still a little red here. Boy, this is interesting. Look at this reversal here. Wow, okay. That is bearish. All right, so no, it's interesting. We came down here and then saw a bounce. And look what they did. They ran that liquidity, and then you got the bounce. They got more liquidity sitting down here. I wouldn't put it past them to run it again before it goes up, right? But you got a pyramid here. You don't quite have a green PTF. If you wanted to wait for the green PTF, that probably would be a smart thing to do. All right. Of course, we're not always smart, but that would probably be a smart thing to do. We've taken out the top of this PTF. We're kind of setting up. You got to be careful when you look at price bars that are still unfolding, because that's kind of setting up to be a bearish candle to some degree. It will depend on how much wick we have on top of the body of the candle. But the day's not over. That could end on its high too. So I don't like to necessarily judge it until the candle is closed. All right. So we've got a couple of bearish candles here on the 60. So we're probably going to get a pullback, but I'm not saying we're going to make a new bottom. Okay. I'm going to put this down as a buy on this. Okay. VIX here. But at the same time, it may not be for everybody. Okay. You may want a little more confirmation before going long, but I think we may have, if you notice here on the weekly chart, we got a bottom that's held, and we got very bullish divergence. They may run the bottom one more time. Okay. They, meaning the market. We'll have to see, but we also could be at a stable place here. So, okay. All right. I wouldn't bet the farm on it, but if you wanted to put some money in it, certainly I could see the case for it. Okay. All right. I think we're going to end there, guys. Okay. We went over, but we had some really good ones to look at. All right. So let me just really quickly take a look and see here what we got for our winners today. And I'll take a look here. Okay. So we've got UNG. All right. We like that one. IRBT, PBW, all right, and UVIX. Those are our recommendations for this week. On the watch list, we got MSTR, Tesla, TSLA, and PLTR. So actually, we went through a month or so, or a couple of weeks, right around the holidays, where there wasn't much there, but now it seems like we're seeing some more. So I don't think, again, overall, I think the market is in a bubble. It's topping, all right, but it doesn't mean that the bubble's bursted yet. And the fact that we're still finding 4 possibilities for more highs indicates to me it's not quite ready to come down yet. So, you got to be careful at these levels, but by the same time, these can be good short-term trades. All right, one more time. Let me promote the book. All right, there's the book. All right, 608 pages. And it is shipping. Jim's getting his today, he says. So let me know how you like it, Jim. I think you'll like it. Put a lot of material in that. All right. So, folks, we'll see you next week, same time. I'm going to put this, I'm going to go ahead and go back full screen to the screens. We'll put the NASDAQ on and see what's cooking on the NASDAQ. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. On a chart we can see here. All right. So we're looking at the NASDAQ at these levels here. And we're hitting a little resistance right now on that upside. And there we have it. Okay. So I'll leave it there for just a little bit, and then we will come back next week. We'll see you. All right. So have a good one. I'll put some music on, and thanks so much for showing up today.